should have microphone on now, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me? Hello, 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 hello. With the blurry background and everything as we get everything settled on in here. Hello, hello. Yes, I hear good things. Walt, Little Jen, Grady already here. Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Slowly, they join the blur. Everybody come join the blur. Yes. Kung Lao is here. Oops. Anubis. Everybody's trickling on in. So I think we'll go full screen as we say hi to people. We wait for people to come and join. Good evening. Happy Tuesday evening. At least for me, it's Tuesday evening. It's 9 o'clock my time. But welcome on in, everyone. For those who do not know, my name is Guest, also known as It's Guest Gaming here. And tonight, we have things to talk about. Like, whoa, what do we have things to talk about? Okay, so obviously, as the title and the caption says, we're going to be doing the December tier list live. This, you know, let's be honest, and let's call it exactly what it is. This is a page right out of default Dan's book. And that's happening specifically because of some things going on in the background, which I will talk about after the tier list. So time, convenience, a whole bunch of stuff. We will get there. So we will get through all of that. I 100% promise. We're going to be doing the recording / announcement of it live. Then I am here to immediately field your questions for this tier list. So you guys are going to be a part of the recording live right here. I will take that recording and potentially edit it down just a tad into a condensed YouTube video, but you all will be a part of the live experience with us tonight. So welcome on in. Get ready, because some things have changed. Some things have changed. Kung Lao, Frank, my friend, what's going on, good sir? Hope all has been well with you. Anubis, Mojo, new tier list, boy. How are my weekend festivities? Weekend festivities were great. It was as great as the last weekend was of, you know, time with family. This upcoming weekend is more needed than I can ever tell you. Like, we are heading into the holidays. Kids are done with school. Like, it is, we are desperately needing to get into the holiday spirit, because man, it has been a wild ride the past few weeks here in the guest house. Adrian, what's going on? Hello, how are you? How are you? Trickle in, everybody's coming on in. Everybody's here. Rose and my friends. Hi, everybody. I also going to give a premature, way too early shout out to Nectar, who is sometimes here in chat, sometimes, not very often, but she definitely won't be tonight, because Nectar is my sister. And Nectar, it is your birthday. So, sis, I love you. Happy birthday. I want to throw that into this recording, into this message, because I want you to know that you are loved even here on the guest list. So some of you have seen Nectar around, mainly on the Twitch side, not as much on the YouTube side as much yet. But, you know, just like many of you, we're, you know, slowly we'll get her into the YouTube side. It's a work in progress. You're trying to get a Shadow the Hedgehog plushie for Christmas. Oh man, like, don't even get me started about Christmas stuff. Oh man. I can't say it too loud because my kids are still asleep. Oh, not fully asleep yet. But my son is a hardcore Sonic fan. And we may or may not have gotten the giant Lego concept Sonic the Hedgehog thing for him for Christmas. So just saying, if you like Sonic, yeah, you appreciate that because it is big. So looking forward to that. Looking forward. Great. Oh, Grady, you're dark side. You're the one who messaged me. See, now it makes sense. Gotcha. See, it's all coming together now. Like, everybody has different names on YouTube because people don't use usernames on YouTube except for creators. very often, so that's a part of it too. You opened 2 Olaf crystals. You got a 2-star and a 3-star. Better than I got. We're going to throw my only other Olaf crystal right now tonight. So, fingers crossed. Maybe we'll do better with Beast. All the things crossed. We shall see. Hydrate, people. Hydrate. And stretch. And yes, that's right. I'm going with the Batman look this afternoon. So I may or may not have gotten chicken grease on my green shirt from this morning. If you were here this morning, thank you all for some of the messages because of my very short exit. We'll talk about it later. I want to do all the tier list stuff first, then we'll talk about what actually happened a little bit later on. So don't worry about that. We'll get to that later on. I want to look at the Mirrorverse. Okay, I want to open this up. I want to see if we can get a better Beast. I want to see if we have our luck at maybe getting Olaf. I waited for you because I love you. All right, so I wanted to do that. I want to do that right. So we're going to head on over into the Mirrorverse, hit the magical button. I just realized I don't know if this is connected. It's not. Why are you not connected? Because I didn't connect you. That's right, guest. Hey, Porg. Hey, Porg. How's the fam? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Yes, I would love a little bit of the Olaf luck. I would love a little bit of the Olaf luck. I'm not going to lie. Just a tad. Just a tad. You know, not the end of the world amount of luck, but just a tad. That's all I'm looking for. Ooh, this is all out of waxies. Hang on. Why is this all kinds of oversized? That's what she said. That was stupid. Hit the screen. There we go. Close you, close you, close you. And then phone capture, we can make things happen properly. That was weird. It like completely resized on me. Weird. All the happy dances. It's a happy dance music too, so it kind of works out. Kind of works out. So I'm hoping. I really need all of the super energy tonight, y'all. I need all of it. Like I can't even tell you. So let's go on in. Let's go on in and see if we can get Beast or Olaf to actually drop tonight. Fingers crossed. Wish me luck. Hopefully we're going to start with some really good energy because I definitely need it right now. So let's get some good energy out there. Let's get some emotes. Let's get some thumbs ups. Let's get some yays. Let's get some GGs. Let's get everything in the chat. Put the good energy towards potentially unlocking Olaf as well as maybe getting a Signet level Beast. It's only a 3% chance roughly, but you know, we can hope for the best. We shall see. We shall see. So I'm going to start with Beast because we at least already have him in worst case scenario. Okay, this was the Roses one from the Roses. This is the second one out of the store. Just trying that one to see what happens. That's all it comes down to. Just trying that one to see what happens. Ugh. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Let's toss a Beast. And I'm not even going to look for the thing. Here we go. Tap 1, tap 2, 2-star. It's a Beast. I mean, it's a tiny Beast, but it's a Beast. It's a Beast. Ah, it's a tiny Beast. It doesn't really embellish that much compared to what we had, but at least we went 2 for 2 on the Beast crystals. We're 0 for 1 on Olaf. Grady, I hope that is correct. He's calling a 5-star Olaf in the chat. Let's see if that's what happens. Toss that crystal on in. Tap away. Here we go. Tap 1. Tap 2. 2-star. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Olaf. Olaf has officially joined the guest list, ladies and gentlemen. So, hey, it's an unlock. It's an unlock. Take it. Take it, take it, take it, take it, take it. Any and every day if we can. So, welcome to the guest list, Olaf. Luck is on our side. Kind of, sort of. Oh, look, we unlocked Olaf. What do they want us to do? Spend money. I mean, it's the game. It's going to happen. We got a couple of random crystals, so we're going to go. So how are you doing in your event group so far, guest? Anubis? I'm gonna talk to you about the events in a second here. I'm gonna say 2-star. Let's go. 2-star Merida. Off it goes. Here we go. Tap 1. Tap 2. Okay. Tap 3. 3-star. Cotton Hook. On God. All right. Better than nothing. It's mini Stardust, and that's what we're going to take it as. Captain Hook. Underrated, but still Captain Hook. Oh, I just realized, why am I doing this on the side? I should be moving my keyboard like I always do. There we go. That's better. Adrian asked, what type of Guardians do you think should be added more to the game sooner or later? Well, when you say what type of Guardians, are you talking about what specific Disney characters I'd like to see come to the game? Or are you talking about, like, play styles or roles? Or, like, what do you... Give me a little bit more there, Adrian. But I will gladly answer. We're starting up, like I said, with the Crystal Energy... Get some good energy, hopefully get something good to pop out of this. We're going to go into the tier list, and then I'll tell you about everything that's going on. Winks, what's going on? Yeah, no worries. We're going to talk about what happened this morning after the tier list recording. So right now, we're just going to open up these crystals first, and then we'll get into that conversation. So let's start this on over here. Going to pop open a couple of these. Open for Isabel and a Woody. And an Ian, and a Scrooge McDuck. Slowly moving up there, Scrooge, buddy. Slowly moving up there. Piece by piece by piece. 2 Radiant 3 stars. Let's see. Show me just Melee Stardust, baby. And you give me a damn blue. Ah. Whatever. Oh, man. Both tank. Both are tanks. Ah. Play style. I mean, both play style and specific characters. I mean, honestly, that's a really tough one. I mean, characters, I just want Quasimodo and Edna Mode. That's who I want. That's easy. That's a real easy one. Personal favorite and then channel favorite. So 100%. Edna Mode and Quasimodo, you guys can come to the game whenever you're ready. Quasimodo is going to end up being a tank, and Edna Mode is going to end up being a support character. Plain and simple. Ta-da. Where she takes a cape and she whips it at you. Because that'd be badass, right? Let's be honest here. Come on, show me something purple. That's not purple. Not in any way, shape, or form. Not in any way, shape, or form. Show me something purple. That's still not purple. That's still like absolute fire crap. All right, let's go to polished. Show me something purple. Little better. Not fully there yet, but at least, you know, at least it's stuff that we can burn. And then the last stellar crystal. Jafar. Yes. So in regards to playstyle, I'd like to see something that has minions. The Glimmers is close, but I want a battle like Jasmine with Raja. That's what I want. Here we go. Tap 1. Tap 2. 2-star. Mike Wazowski. Okay, I'll take it. We need to get better with Mike anyway, so let's take all that Stardust and see if we have anything decent. We still don't have our damn Mickey Mouse, guys. We're still waiting for a 4-star Mickey Mouse to drop into the store. We're still waiting. We have the Stardust ready. He just won't drop back in. He just won't drop back in. I had Zerg like 3 times in a week, but nope. Nay, nay. You do not get your Astral Mickey. Ha-ha, fucker. Like, so annoying. So annoying. We'll get there. We'll get there. Baby steps. Okay. Let's claim. Grab this bad boy. Let's claim this. Bada bing, bada boom. Hey, all right. We'll get over into that, and then we'll talk about... Tonight, we will talk about, like, how I'm approaching the Beast of Intentions and the leagues and all of this, okay? We will talk about my personal approach on how to do this and how to attack this, okay? We will get there. We are not there yet. Right? But we will get there. You just got Hades from Star. From Star? What do you mean from Star? But are you guys... Okay, so let's talk. Like, what do you all think has happened in regards to the tier list? What do you think has changed because of the new Rift Raid, importance in play style over the last few weeks? Just what do you think you expect to see come this week? This tier list tonight. Who are you guys looking to see? Who are you guys curious about, good, bad, or indifferent along the way? Put this over here and out of the way. Stardust Shop. Oh, you got him in the Stardust Shop. Gotcha. Got her. Yeah, him. He doesn't drop that often, so when he does, I don't drop very often, but when I do. I don't know why he turned into this like Russian mobster type thing, but he just did. So I'm running with it, and I think you should too. I just think you should run with it too. Let me push this out. I just realized I never sent out this. That's why half my people aren't here. Okay. Boom and boom. I gotta take off that timer. I forgot that we have that timer on from the impromptu leagues video. What's going on, Umbrella Benjamin? Hello, hello, hello. You want Scar to be at least A or S tier. Stitch top A, low S. I mean, Stitch is going to get his own little recognition tonight. I think that's a good way to word it. He's going to get his own little recognition tonight. So do not fret. Galentine, my buddy. What's going on, man? How you doing? All right, got that here. Got that here. Got this image up for later. Let's go full screen for a second here. Let's get everything settled up. Let me make sure on this one scene in studio mode that it's set up properly. Yes, it is. It's looking good. Awesome. Okay, because we're going to be doing this slightly different than normal. Not terribly different, but slightly different than normal when it comes to like recording and stuff. How are you? I'm back and forth for a few minutes before finishing making dinner. No worries, no worries. You expect Stitch to move up in the tier list. The tier list hasn't started yet. Nope, we're about to do it. We're about to do the December tier list conversation here live and showcase exactly everything of what the hell we ended up doing with this tier list and why. And why. Let's go with this. Undo. Okay. Whoop, too far. I'm scrolling too far. Cool. Studio. Counting your money and doing the maths. You making that bready? You making that bread, Benjamin? Yeah, no, we're about to do it. We're about to do it. So we just get the last piece up here to get it officially rolled out correctly. Beautiful. That looks good. Oh, I gotta... show tabs only. And I think that's sized a little big. I think that's fair-ish. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're ready. The Royal, are we getting rid of D tier like Unstable's video title? No, we are not. We are not getting rid of D tier. We are not gonna steal what Unstable Gamer has done with getting rid of the D tier because I disagree with that. I disagree with that. I think that we need a D tier and an F tier in this game because it is due to D tiers and F tiers that we see characters get reworked. So we need D and F tiers, all right? All right. I think we're good-ish. I think we are good-ish. So let's go. Let's get ready. Tier list recording time, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Stretch. I'm going to start the recording with all y'all. I want to see in the chat over here, okay? I want to see in the chat just the character name of who you're most curious about. Let's get that on in the chat first, and then we will start the video. Alrighty? Because I think I'm okay in regards to the readiness and talk about it phase. Because typically when I do this, it's a much longer video film that I edit down, but I'm not doing it like that tonight. This is kind of one take, but not really one take. The only thing we're gonna do different versus the actual live stream is I am gonna turn off the music because when I go into edit, I am gonna layer music over the top on it later on. Okay? So we're gonna go ahead and pause that music now because the song is in a lull, which is perfect. It's almost like it was planned. Alrighty, how do I sound? Do I sound ready? Do I sound guesty? Is guesty even I don't know if guesty is an adjective, but at least it is now. So let's rock it. All right. Tier list time, ladies and gentlemen. Here. Scroll that down here. Scroll that down here. That's ready to go to the next screen. Beautiful. All right. Here we go. Welcome on in, folks. For those who do not know, my name is Guest, also known as ItsGuestGaming, and we are, again, live here on YouTube, live streaming, and also on Twitch. Don't worry, we haven't forgotten fully about them. We are going to be doing the December 2022 tier list live here on air. So if you're watching this live on the video playback from YouTube in the full video, which if you'd like to see all the after conversation, trust me, the video will be tagged at the very end of this, then you may notice that it's mute because I like editing. So we're going to have some fun here. We have movement and we have some characters that will definitely be surprising to you. I could promise you that. We have 3 things to take a look at tonight. We have the mid-game tier list. We have the end game tier list, and then the quick overview, as always, of which characters are rising and falling over time, because my approach to a tier list is understanding as you go through this game, sometimes you need to make a decision of, all right, I've got to invest into so-and-so because I pulled a 5-star Baloo. Is it going to be worth my while? Should I invest hard into it, or just enough to kind of get me by for a tower or for a dungeon or for whatever for now until my journey progresses a little bit further? That's why I do tier lists the way that I do. Here in the chat, people are already showcasing what character they're most curious about seeing in the tier list, and I'm curious for you. In this video, go ahead and leave me a comment down below and talk to me about the character that you either agree with, disagree with, or just want to see come to the game, or we can go at option 4, which is always some kind of random emoji. So this time, let's go with a wave. I have no idea why. So let's just go on into it. Let's swing on over and take a look at the layout. This is how we're going to roll it out, folks. We will take a look at the mid-game tier list first, because that is still a majority of players. And when I talk about mid-game, my definition of where these characters are going for you in regards to should I invest into them or not, all comes down to, are you able to go through all of your towers, go through master dungeons, and go through at least tier 10 raids? If you're doing all of those, you are past mid-game in towards late game and end game. If you are there or less, or hovering around there, you're probably in the mid-game. That's the way I look at it. So you have somewhere to grow to, and then somewhere to grow to past that. So here we go. Let's take a look on here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the C through F tiers here in the mid-game. Boom. There they are. So a couple of surprises are down here. We have a larger F tier because we've had more Guardians come to the game. One of the newest Guardians, Olaf, as we talked about in the Olaf video, take a look at the tag up above. The Olaf is a slight inconvenience to work as a support because you have to go out of your way to go get your glimmers and heal. He's not my favorite play style. He reminds me a lot of Frank in that aspect, and Frank is difficult to navigate when he's on auto, which is why Frank now has been bumped all the way down into the F tier. And this is a wake-up call because, one, he's very seldomly used in the raids. Two, his play style is not conducive to anything that survives in meta end game, late game play. And three, we've been talking about it now for weeks, if not months. So he's gotten bumped down. His usage has gotten brought way down. Just like Aladdin. Aladdin used to be an A-tier character way back when. Unfortunately, everybody in the F tier needs love. And I don't know how many times I need to say it, so I'm going to keep saying it to Kabam. Kabam, please rework Merida. She's one of the first characters you get in the game. Hercules, pretty darn good. Ariel, meta. And then there's this Merida. And she needs some love. She needs some detail in her kit. She is the bottom of the barrel in Mirrorverse, and she needs some attention. Now, everybody who's in the D or the F tier, they all have very specific places where they could shine. Violet, for example, in the mid-game, you don't need her, but she's one of the best dungeon characters in the game by a long shot. Raya, recently, as we talked about in her video, super fun. Super, super fun. You're never going to use her. That's the downside to Raya. So all of these characters have very little return on investment. You can invest heavily into them, but you're not going to use them a lot. And when you do, you also have most likely other options that are potentially better. So that's why they are where they are. Heading into the B tier, now we start seeing some characters with a very consistent pattern. So let's go against the pattern for a second first, right? Cruella barely misses the A tier. She has been very surprising in mid-game and end-game raids. Those dizzies are paying off tremendously in the raids, so I'm disappointed to see her there, but the math doesn't lie. Stitch in the mid-game is another one where he's a jack of all trades, or in this case, the jack of all raids, because he 100% is the most diverse Guardian in the game. You can use him in 8 different places, and you're always going to use him somewhere good. You're going to get good amounts of points when you use Stitch in any of the 3 raid maps that we have currently. What weighs him down is that he doesn't scale super high. And I rock a level 75 Astral 3, and I know there are several other characters of mine that will out-hit him, even though he qualifies. So I have to go with what qualifies. So Stitch, it's a it's a double-edged sword. He'll work everywhere, but it's like using a butter knife in a street fight. That's how I can kind of most appropriately phrase it. Mike Wazowski's the biggest surprise. Mike Wazowski has shot up out of the F tier way back when in, I want to say it was what, May or June in our very first tier list. He was the worst character in the game. And now in raids, he has shown so much that he is one of the best support characters in the raids right now. Mid-game wise, you can invest into him and know that he's going to be pretty darn good. But just wait for the end game. But there's another pattern if you look carefully. Hear me out on this, okay? Stitch, Woody, Kermit, Scar, Hercules, Captain Hook, Anger, Anna. 8. That's more than half of the melees in the game, all just kind of plop up in the B tier. And that's a little concerning because there's only 3, I want to say it is. I want to say it's 3. I think it's 3. We're going to go with 3. 3 in the S and the A tier. A little bit of crud, and then everything in the B tier. They're all just mediocre. They'll do like one thing really well, and then that's it. That's a problem. And I think a lot of these Guardians that have come from beta and just were brought over, some of them need a little bit of a rework, a little bit more power, because there are too many Guardians in the games that are tanks that will double as your leader-controlled melee, and melees do not work well on auto. So they all kind of get weighed down a tad, and they all just end up hovering here in the B tier. So it needs a little bit of love, like Kermit the Frog. I am so sad to say that he is no longer the best melee in the game because he was slighted to. And at the testing that we had during the KCP time, he was really good. But his numbers did not scale anywhere close to what we thought. He's hitting like a wet noodle. The reinforcement of doubling up, 50% faster on the basic attacks from the other characters while in the song, it wasn't doing enough damage scaling to what we thought it would. And that's disappointing. So he kind of rests here in the B tier as well. Let's head into the A tier, where now we see some characters that anywhere from here up, A tier and higher, everyone is worth investing your superior motes into. You're looking at your level 50s, 51s and higher by A tier and higher. So you're going to see some big people like Beast, right? Beast, at the time of this video dropping, he is the premier tune, and out of the last 4 characters to drop to the game since the last tier list, he's the best one. His beefiness is amazing. His offense scales way up because you can bring that shield crazy high. His survivability is great. He overall is a very good Guardian. I wish I had mine higher because he's a very, very good Guardian. I'm going to recommend him out of all of the new ones. He's your best one. Take your chances. Go with Beast. Double checking all my notes as we go on through. The biggest surprises are actually kind of right above my head over here. You're going to see Genie, Hades, and I'm also going to mention Eve. Now, if you've been here on a live stream before, you know I've talked about the praises of Eve when it comes to her shield, when it comes to the amount of damage she puts out as a ranged character, and you could say the same thing for Hades too with those long-lasting burns. Genie surprised me a lot in my last raid in some of the lower tiers because mine is not built up. Having that indestructible was so valuable that I am this close to having an Astro 2, and I'm going to invest into him myself because he really, for raids, ended up being a stellar character. The top 4 cusp between A and S tier all were about 1 point away. So you could make an argument for Oogie Boogie and Maleficent to be S tier, and you can make an argument for the bottom 2 of S tier to be brought into the A tier. But I can say confidently, every single character here in the A tier is worth investing into. But the best characters in the game, in the mid-tier, mid-game, if you will, are Scrooge McDuck, Simba, and Hiro Hamada. There's your top 3, and there's a reason that in the mid-game, it has still remained the same. The end game has changed. Trust me on that. So let me explain this real quick, okay? In the mid-game, you're looking at resource investment, very focused. You're trying to get the most bang for your buck and the most impact to your other Guardians when you're controlling somebody, okay? Scrooge, Simba, and Hero are set it and forget it characters. Crazy amounts of healing from the two of them. You've got shields, you've got distractions, you've got extra damage when Simba's taking damage, indestructible, knockback. Those three characters do more in more places than anybody else. I was floored when even recalculating, readjusting the numbers compared to the last tier list, it really is still, they're that impactful. So I have no problem saying that those are the top characters in the game. Elsa shoots up into the S tier. Her use in Raid Map 3 pushed her up just finally over A into S. Ariel has always been good. Zurg has always been good. Gaston, now again, Raid Map 3 goes up even higher. Minnie is again in the S tier, absolutely making a huge impact in the end game. And then you've got Mr. Incredible and Buzz Lightyear. I've preached the praises of Buzz now for quite some time. Overuse for him in all of the raids, and the shield gain organically from him ends up paying off on gatekeepers if you can use him. Please, when I say that Buzz Lightyear is a top tier tune in the mid game because of how many places you can use him, and he does that well, he is the best ranged in the mid game. As for the end game, though, whole nother conversation. So take a look at the Guardian that you want to follow as we head on into the end game tier list. Keep an eye on them, see where they move. Are you ready? We're going to the end game and watch the Guardians shift. Let's get this settled over here for the edit. We're going to move up here and go 3, 2, 1. I know. That's right. And I'm happy and sad to say it. The new #1 character in Disney Mirrorverse is Minnie Mouse. Minnie Mouse has shot over the importance of Scrooge McDuck and Hiro Hamada. And let me go into why she shot up. #1, raids are the most important game mode in the game at this current time for yourself as well as your entire alliance. #2, her traits being very low usage make them more valuable because when you do get to use her, she is the best qualifying character. So Fiery, she's your best character by a long shot. Lawful, best character by a long shot. So when you have that chance of like, ooh, I get to use the shiny toy, you want to use the shiny toy. And lastly, when she is used in the raids, she is used in either the 6-node Sentinel, the Gatekeeper, or both in both all three maps. That is huge, because she's guaranteed points. You target and you let her go absolutely wild. I have been doing a test with Minnie Mouse myself to see how good we can get a 4-star Minnie Mouse to work. What investment does it really take to make Minnie Mouse actually work in potentially end game play? And I'm excited to be able to showcase that video for you and tell you more about Minnie Mouse specifically really soon in an upcoming video. So what does this all mean? Are you surprised? You take a look at the characters that have moved up and down, right? You can see that over time, as I have this apparently up in the background too, as you see with the characters over time, some of them are going to be way more valuable earlier on in your journey versus later on. This is a perfect example as I referenced with Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear does a really good job in the mid game, but later on, you're not going to need him, I hate to say, because you're going to have other long distance options, like other support characters even, putting out really good damage from afar, and they can also heal. And you're going to end up preferencing that. Or you have a ranged character that will scale higher in their astral levels, like a Zurg and a Gaston. So it's unfortunate for a character like Buzz. Characters that you see in the rise over time, if you pull an Oogie Boogie, it's a safe investment to go ahead and put into him. Mickey Mouse, same thing. Violet, you can wait, But if you get it now, know that it's going to be a great long-term investment the same way. Raya even does move up a little bit over time because of similar reasons as Minnie Mouse, where you're not using her very often, but when you do, she is incredibly good. I'm sad to see both Dory and Kermit the Frog specifically here as well, because they're newer support guardians, or supporting guardians, I should say. And I want them to give reinforcement to everybody else in the entire tier list. But unfortunately, they don't. And we still have a problem with Merida. We still have a problem with Goofy. And we still have a problem with Aladdin. Aladdin's too squishy. Goofy doesn't put out enough damage. And Merida does literally nothing. So we have issues that need to be addressed. And those are guardians I'm going to recommend that hopefully Kabam considers reworks for. But in regards to safe investments, anywhere from the A tier up, you're guaranteed to have a really safe investment of putting as much as you can into those characters. B and C tier, beware and be careful. B and C, that's what we're going to call that from now on. Be careful, B and C tier. D and F tier, don't touch them. For now. For now. So there it is. There is the December end game, mid game, all of the above. All of these graphics I will have links to down below in the description. And I invite you to please hit that comment button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join us and join the conversation here on the guest list. I appreciate every single one of you for hanging out with me here on the live stream side as well. Thank you so much, everybody. For those who do not know, my name is Guest, also known as ItsGuestGaming, and I look forward to seeing you here on the guest list. Now, here on the live stream, we're going to have the after party where I'm going to be Q&A answering all of the questions that they have about this tier list, show them my breakdowns and everything that they want to know. So if you're interested in seeing that video, you'll see that pop on the screen somewhere right around now. That's the link to the entire broadcast, and you can see the conversation we had afterwards live. Thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy the holidays. All right. You guys ready? I am. All right. We did it. We got the recording. Things have been said. We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about. All right? So, thank you guys for joining in the conversation. I more than greatly appreciate it. It is so much fun to be able to kind of do this here live and then go right into it and say, okay, what do you want to know a little bit more about, right? Because we've got the end game tier list and we've got the mid game tier list, which I'm covering up Genie in this view, but you get the idea, right? So let's chat, okay? Lori says, this is wild? Why is this wild? Why are you so surprised? You know that everyone in those top tiers are really good. You know they are. DNF or don't farm. Oh, that's great. Oh, I love that. Not necessarily, Crush. Not necessarily, because I'm going to have a full, like I said, I'm going to have a full breakdown on Minnie Mouse in particular. That's an upcoming video, okay? Because I'm going to go through the whole test of what I did with Minnie Mouse, where I got up there, and what we've figured out and what we've discovered, and what is the ceiling for Minnie Mouse at 4 stars. Like, can we get her into endgame play? And already we've got some good things happening. Already. So trust me on that. Trust me on that. Scar is B tier. No! Yes, Scar is B tier. He is a little squishy. He's very, very dependent on his special and his heavy. And his usability is low. Working on Comet, then switch to Stitch, and now do you need to switch to Minnie? Crush, remember, everybody's account is different. Because people are very often going to see this tier list and they'll say, well, if I'm going to go for the best character in the game, I'm going to go for Minnie Mouse. But again, that's end game in my opinion. In end game, then go ahead and take the time and use that Stardust and put it into Minnie Mouse. Don't fret over it. She's still great. She's still great, but you also have really strong tanks in the mid game that will punch equivocally, if not slightly higher, depending on the tank. So that's different. Frank in the F&D tier. Yep, it is time that we face the hard truth. We face the hard truth. Frank needs love. Frank needs love. Jack Sparrow always gets so low on the tier lists. He does, because he doesn't do anything better than anyone else. Glad Beast is good, otherwise it wasted a lot of motes and time. I know. I am very happy with Beast. He, in both lists, you know, he kind of hovers, right? He's there hanging out towards the end of the A tier. He's in the middle of the A tier here. He's a very well-rounded, good defense character. You can use him as a defensive weapon. You can use him as an offensive weapon. He's very good. Very good. I'm very happy with him. Scar is too squishy, and same for Hercules. Yeah, Hercules is surprisingly squishy. He looks like he would be stronger, but no. Scar, at least you could be proud of being better than Aladdin. This is true. From an endgame, I would agree with about 80% of the endgame list. Personally, no one on a club uses Elsa. Aladdin is very good for high-level minions, T26 and plus. And Cruella is literally so undervalued here. Well, that's why I'm saying with Cruella de Vil, and I said it in the first part, like, when you do use her, she is good. But she's better in the end game than she is in the mid game. 1,000%. 1,000%. Why not have Buzz in S tier because of his traits? In the end game, he's in the A tier. In the mid game, he is in the S tier because of his overall usability, and he does the ranged job in more locations as good as Gaston and Zerg in the mid game. Towards the end game, they become way more valuable. Gaston and Zerg, specifically. So I push them back, and Maleficent as well. So he gets knocked down over that as well. Yes, Genie is definitely good. We need a healer for Seafaring. God, I know. I mean, we need a regular healer because Jack Sparrow doesn't do enough healing. Dory is too aggressive for being a frontline tank with not enough health. And Frank Wolf is very difficult to operate. And I feel like they need to do to Frank Wolf what they did to Baloo. If they took Frank Wolf and they just made his healing ability automatically hit the rest of everybody, but his vines still give a benefit or a bonus, he would shoot up. He would astronomically shoot up, because then he'd shoot up in between probably the gameplay style of Olaf and the gameplay style of like Evil Queen. He'd probably shoot up into somewhere around the B tier. That would be my guess. You pulled a 5-star beast. Should you prioritize him or your 4-star Mr. Incredible? I'd still go 4-star Mr. Incredible. Bust for Blueberry Magic Boy. I wish Tinkerbell had been support. I hear you. Yeah, Winks, I hear you with that. I'll agree with that. Can you answer the Bel Air? Yep, I got that was Bel Air, right? The Bell Boy? Yeah, Mr. Incredible. Gotcha. Oh my God. Yes. Would you recommend I go after Eve, 500 stars for being 5 shards, or Maleficent, barely 4 stars, for your next range to get to level 50? Oh, that's tough. Oh, that is tough. I mean, they're so close, Anubis. Like, I think your smarter investment, your more logical investment, is going to end up being Eve, because that 10% stat increase when you go from 4 to 5 stars is going to be overall huge. Huge. Surprised at Jack Skellington dropping into the A tier. Barely. So I do want to show you this, okay? So let me go to my Excel screen. I think this is right. Hang on. We're switching screens here. Is that loaded? Yeah, it's not centered, but it's loaded. So let's just kind of push you up here. Sure, that'll work. And then we're gonna move you here. No? Okay, you're just a very odd shape today. How about short and long? Why can't I get that to frame right today? It's just not, things are, we're not doing good here, people. All right, well, it's not going to look pretty. It's not going to look pretty, but at least it'll get the point across. It won't look pretty, but it'll work. All right. So, because I haven't used this scene in quite some time. You can tell by the chat thing up top. Let me move this here so I can see you, and I can see the chat at the same time for me. Okay, there we go. Zing, zang, zoom. Which characters are good for controlling versus leave on AI? I mean, it depends. Melees you almost never want to use on AI control. Very, very few instances that you ever want to use a melee on AI control. Most support characters you want to use on AI control. There's no need to. And then when it comes to who you're choosing to control, I mean, it depends on who's going to give you the most damage or who has the lowest health pool. It's tough. It's very conditional to answer that question, to be honest. Situational, your roster, I mean, that's tough. I know Gaston gets used in dungeon. Yeah, he does. But where are we using him otherwise? Sure, I can go into Gaston. Lewis, thank you. I appreciate the very targeted question like that. So with Gaston in particular, right? He's an S tier character. His damage scale is crazy high. His overall rating I gave as an individual score, and this is part of how I rate this too. And I want to make this very, very clear. The way I get to my final results are not just how good I think they are. It's also mixed in with how good I think they are when they are used, in conjunction with how often they're used and where they are used. So all of it gets weighed in. So if I sorted by the characters that I thought were overall just the best characters in the game, out of 10, Minnie, Hero, Mr. Incredible, Zurg, Ariel, Wally, Mickey are all 9.5 out of 10 characters. Those, I think, are the best characters all by themselves, solo. But their usabilities move them up and down, and the how-tos move them up and down. So you have to weigh and factor that in too, because you have to look at your investment, and is it worth investing into a character that's only good in one location, like a Violet? Like, Violet is a really good character. She's a 9 out of 10, but she gets weighed way down due to her usability. And not just in raids, in all game modes. So I look at it like that, right? Let's go smallest to largest, put that back here and go back to the Gaston conversation so I don't lose that point, right? So Gaston, he's an 8.5 out of 10. He's a very good damage dealer, straight outright as is, okay? You're using him in 5 different locations in the raids. The highest is 8. So he's right there in the pretty darn good use. The weight of his traits, this is something that I also weigh in as well. Not just how many traits they have, but also, is it a hard to find trait? Is it a trait that not many people have? For example, if you have stealthy, right? Stealthy is the most scarce trait in the game. So if you have a stealthy trait, like Violet, for example, does, that brings more value to that trait. But if it's a trait that does not, that has way too many people, like, let's say, Lawful, I think is a pretty good one. I think there's too many people with Royalty is a perfect one. There's so many characters with Royalty. The weight of Royalty really isn't that important, but the weight of Stealthy is like, oh yeah, finally, another good Stealthy character. So that gets weighed in there also as well. So Gaston has a piece of that puzzle mixed into him. Scroll back up here to Gaston. There we go. Because you see that in Villainous, you see that in Short Fused, and the other, Leader is common. Short Fused is less common. Tall is right in the middle of the pack. Villainous is less common and ranged, okay? He's got his Leader Tower, so 1 tower he's used on. He's used every single week in some way, shape, or form as well. Not counting Icy. No, Icy got moved. Icy got removed. These would be event trackings for me. And this also then becomes something I weigh into, which is not just how many locations in the raid, but how many locations that give you the most points. So obviously, your 6-node minion bashing characters, if you qualify for those, that should mean more than if you can only bash on, let's say, the Oogie Boogie node, because he's a 3-node sentinel. Yeah, 3-node Sentinel. So those Sentinels have less value to me versus something like the Wally Sentinel, the Scrooge Sentinel, or the Baymax Sentinel. So I look at all those points and I break that down, and the Gatekeeper mixed in there as well. So when you're looking at the total overall value of a character, I'm looking at not just their traits, but how good those traits actually are, which is why Stitch places so high. Next up to that would end up being Captain Hook, followed by Cruella. Those are your top 3 when it comes to the value of the traits, plus how many places they qualify for. Just to throw that out there, okay? So let me, boom, this, so I can go back to Gaston. So like I said, used in 5 locations, moves up to a 6.4 instead of 5. He's used on all 3 maps, which many characters are not used on all 3 maps, like Ariel, for example, which is why they ended up so neck and neck close. And that's just my my research when I'm doing like synergies and stuff. Like, oh, you have knockback, you have immune to, you have indestructible, you have heal, you have etc. Right? So all of that gets weighed in, and then I weigh it like this. So out of the full 100% of all of those pieces, how important are the game modes? So in the end game, raid is pretty much everything. The number one thing that end game players are working towards is getting better at raids. So that's 40% of your time. Then from there, the next thing that people are being competitive on in the end game is dungeons. That's going on in there as well. The traits also receive their own weight due to other events. So that gets a little tiny bit of weighting. So it feeds into the raid piece and it feeds into future event forecasting at the same time. Towers are less important because they've had their teams probably for a little while. And then resource event pieces, so ones that you get to farm repeatedly that have happened within the last 6 months and bear opportunity to return potentially. So that's the end game value where I'm looking at 40% of the raid has a piece of that puzzle, versus in the mid game where I drop that down to 30 and I put more weight, much more weight, back into the towers and the dungeons. Because in the mid game, you're developing your roster. You need those books right away, or the harder to obtain books, I should say, right away. You're trying to get those relics, and you're probably going to need to do a real push because it's not easy to do Master 1. It's not easy to move into, oh my God, what's the other level? Not Master. Having a total ranging brain fart right now at the moment, but you know what I'm talking about. So you can't get into the last pieces. So I weigh that in the towers and the dungeons a little bit more, which is why still Gaston's the expert. Thank you. So I had a total brain fart there with expert and master and like when you're in the mid game, you're still trying to find that push balance and you're really needing to punch up. In the end game, you might just be taking it easy and you can actually punch down, but still for good resource, so it's less important. So that's a part of it, which is why I weighed certain events in the mid game differently, and that's why the tier list shifts for the mid game. So that's what I look at. That's what I personally look at. So I take that all together, their rankings. I literally write down every single character kit, so I have everything that I can filter through and search through later on. And then it all goes into this master list, which is why you can see certain characters. Minnie is just amazing. So I don't know if that fully answers your question in regards to how I break things down, but hopefully it gives some insight in regards to how I break things down. Some. Can I explain the melee breakdown as only Minnie, Herc, and Ariel as the only melee characters rank A tier and above? Yes, let's sort, and this is why I've made my sheet the way I do. Let's sort by melee, okay? Minnie, Ariel, and Herc. Now, if you look at Hercules, when it comes to individual gameplay, right? Individual gameplay. Hercules, Woody, Snow White, and Anger. I ranked all the same at an 8.5. Like in regards to how good I think they are, they're 8.5s. But the usability of Hercules goes up with time like much larger jump, rank 29 to rank 20, versus Snow White, where it goes up only 4, and Woody, if anything, goes down 4, and for Woody, it only goes up 3. So the use of melees in this game is slowly becoming diminished because of epic offense tanks like Mr. Incredible, like Beast, long durable tanks like Simba, Wally, Beast again, let's be honest. Like, there's other options that are more valuable. So these very good melee characters don't end up placing higher because of all of that. Perk is a poor man's mini. 1,000%. With the stacking, yes, 1,000%. It's a common pool mini. Ugh. So hot. So, just saying. Just saying. What is the difference between mid-game and end-game? Just character levels? Not necessarily character levels, Loans. So, like I said, for mid-game and end-game, I'm looking at, can you get through your dungeons up to a certain tier? Can you get through your towers easily up to a certain level? When you're participating in the raids, can you contribute up to a certain tier of raid? If you can get to X, Y, and Z, you're towards the end game and the late game, and you're pushing from mid into end, right? That's what I look at, is that's kind of my cusp based on how I value the game modes. Because let's be honest, if you're doing tier 10 raids versus doing tier 20 raids, that is astronomical difference in placement and also an astronomical difference in rewards. So it's going from 10 to 20 makes a big difference. And that's kind of where I put my goals. Oh, excuse me. Your highest crit with mini last raid was 36K. 36K. Come on. 36K. Do I need to say anything else? She stacks so well. So that's what I got to do. That's what I got to do. I got to save up more Stardust. I'm going to be working towards getting that 5-star mini. No melee Stardust shall be spent. At all. None. Zip. Zilch. Nada. Zip. Nada. What team was that? I bet you it was Baymax and Mike Wazowski on the Scrooge node. That's my guess. Baymax and Mike Wazowski. If I know Frank. Where your furthest your alliance got was towards Rift Tier 7. So then you understand, ideally, it's not, and I'm not trying to, and please don't ever take any of these conversations as I'm knocking you down. Because it's obviously, I don't know, most of you directly, it's not personal. It's I'm looking at the gameplay and what's considered late gameplay, what's considered that cusp that people need to kind of hop over to move from early to mid to late. Because early game, in this game, it doesn't really matter. It's a matter of whoever the crystals have given you. But mid-game, you've got at least now a base collection of characters, and now you can start doing some targeting farming on your moats and your books, and that's when you really need to start having super efficiency about who you're moving up and why. Hey, Matahu, what's going on? Did I get I'm trying to make sure I get, like, all the questions as well. Mini, Mike, and Baymax. There we go. Yep. Let me scroll back. I want to make sure I got, all the comments and the questions and the things and the doodads. So keep cheering for Ian to get hired. You keep cheering on that, man. Good luck. You let me know how that goes for you. I think we got everyone. What makes Hero so good? Okay, so loans. I see the question. Like I said, I'm scrolling back in the chat. I'm trying to get everybody. Hey, Owlier. Hello. How you doing? So Hero Hamada. Here, let me just get this filter out. Whoop. That's not doing it. select all. Right? So actually, you know what? It's actually better to pull him up in the game, because then I can pull up his full breakdown in his kit. There we go. Okay. So Hiro Hamada specifically is not only just doing healing on his special. When he connects to them, he's going to be providing specific buffs depending on what talents you have equipped to him. Plus, on his signature ability, he's also then on top of that going to be giving an attack buff. That attack buff with motes can scale all the way up to being an additional 50% attack buff on top of that. Now, with the talents, you can target them to be specific for the tank and support group, where you're going to be focusing on defense buffs, which is going to reinforce your armor ability and, of course, your damage resistance. If you put the advanced one, you're looking at attack and focus buffs. So no matter who you're targeting and connecting to, if you're running a double support and a tank team, well, then you can really amplify that tremendously, plus attack buffs because of his specials. So Hiro just takes everything they do and just amplifies it a little bit higher than what Mike Wazowski overall does. But Mike Wazowski does it on very specific stats, and Hiro kind of does it on a build your own hero with more flexibility. Like Mike Wazowski will do it to armor, to defense, so very like 1-in-1. These will do it to multiple and hit multiple on the talent. So it gives you more flex on what Hiro can actually do. It's a little bit why I like that better. It's not tier S related, but how do you feel rankings are now higher tiers versus points now that we are starting to see a higher trend, at least in the top 15? Should rankings go by highest tier? Oh, I see what you're saying. Gotcha. Yes, I personally feel when it comes to the raids, I'll agree with you. There is if you want to push people to go further in the raid and not just cheat the system, because that's what it is, and not just bash and cheat the system, you should be categorizing the raid rankings from tier achieved first, points second. That should be the filter. 100%. So, because it doesn't make any sense to me how a group that took down a tier 27 gatekeeper, for example. You took down tier 27 gatekeeper, you made it to tier 28, congratulations. But the guys who stopped at tier 27 and didn't even dare attempt the gatekeeper and just bashed the ever-living heck out of 27 or even 26, just bashed the load out of it and overspent their resources, why is that considered a bigger achievement? I don't like that. So I think it should be categorized first by raid tier for determining your placement. Second, then you're looking at the actual rankings of points. But I'm just a content creator. But believe me, that's been expressed. Marcus, hello, as a question. Do you have any videos that talk about ideal teams to make with each character? For example, you said that Minnie is good with Baymax and Mike. Do you have any videos that discuss that in detail? Marcus, definitely not, because every single character in every single game mode has different synergies, right? So what might be ideal for, let's say, Scrooge McDuck, right? One of the best characters in the game, best in the mid game, second place overall, right? The way you would want to capitalize on Scrooge as a support character in raids is very different than how you may want to utilize him in dungeons. Because in dungeons, you want that offensive power to get through some of those lower beings. But in raids, you want him just be a ridiculous, crazy healer. You give him his time and let him stack and stack and stack, and then, get the crit focus buff, extra chaos, crit chance, etc. And you play them differently. So it's not just a matter of saying, okay, no matter what, you want to play hero with Baymax always and Minnie Mouse or whoever. Like it definitely doesn't work like that. Every game mode is going to present you with a different challenge, and then you have to create the teams based on how good those characters are, not just in your roster, but the synergies that you see between them that will play off each other, like how defense and armor buffs will play off of each other, as we've learned now with Beast. If you don't know what I'm talking about, definitely take a look at the Beast video. I think I really put that into the simplest layman terms of understanding armor and defense and how those buffs work as I could try to figure out. Like, I literally sat down one day and was trying to figure out how can I explain this super cleanly. Super cleanly. Oh, this is global chat, which is weird because I have this disabled, by the way. Look. Or at least I've had it disabled prior. Once minion and sentinel nodes have been defeated, then points should be cut in half if same minion and sentinel node are farmed. Yes and no. See, I've disabled this. I don't even know how many times. I don't even know how many times. They did that with the gatekeeper on the first time completion, and that helped. I don't think cutting it in half would give enough incentive to say we should push onward. I think you'd have to cut it by a fourth, and then you're bashing from there. You'd have to cut it by a fourth as well. It has to be way less. Hero basically works with everyone. Yeah, this is true. Hero and Scrooge are probably the most plug and play support characters in the game, in my opinion, guys. Like, you could put either of them anywhere and they're going to be great supports. Really. Just throw them in anywhere and they're gonna do well. Guaranteed. Yeah. Alier, I'm with you on that. 100%. 100%. Got all that. They need to make it worth pushing up into the higher tiers, and yeah, 100%. You know, really getting people to be strategic, really getting people to say, all right, we need one person to go all in for the Evil Queen Sentinel because that's our chokehold moving forward. So you're going to become that person once we get up past tier, blah, blah, blah. You know, that definitely should happen, but isn't happening. I'll second on that, Frank. Oh, look, we got stuff. We got 7 claimables. All of the energy. Claim. 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 Give me things. Claim. Oh, hello, purples. I like purples. And claim. I don't know why the voice, but it just kind of happened. The relic one, also why Gaston does so well. And then... Wait, what? Is it gold or is it relic? I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. Let's find out. Which one is correct? It's the regular one. That's why I was like, the fuck? All right. Hang on. Let me see if I can get this to reconnect for a second. Hold on. Back end fix. Back end fix. Please hold. Now, before going into too much chaos with more details for the game, I'm going to fill you guys in on kind of all the chaos that happened earlier, because that was interesting. So let me put this over here so I can see you guys. Why is that not? Oh, I can do all this manually. All right, we'll go full screen then. We'll just click. All right. Now, okay. So, I'll tell you confidently, the next portion of this conversation is probably going to get edited out of the YouTube video, the YouTube playback, because I need a personal community moment for a second. Okay? I'm going to warn y'all ahead of time. This is my therapy moment. This has nothing to do with Mirrorverse. We will go back to Mirrorverse and talk about the events and how I'm handling the events with the leagues and my personal approach and how I'm taking care of them. But I need to talk to you guys, okay? If you were here this morning, you know I abruptly, which I never do, ever, I think maybe once or twice ever, all right, abruptly ended the stream. I received a notification, and I needed to log off and leave immediately. And that takes a lot for me to do. Normally, at least I can kind of like finagle my way out and kind of go through an end screen and say thank yous, and that was just not the case. I am very mad at how my kids were treated today. My kids were treated very, very disrespectfully. Like, very disrespectfully. Why is this not lowering? Okay. Very disrespectfully at my wife's now former school. And I'm not okay with it. It was very disturbing because it was a very abrupt change today for my kids, which no one saw coming. And when I found out what had happened and the decisions that were made and how it affects my family, I was devastated. And the thing that upset me the most was how they treated my kids. Today ended up being my kids' last day at that school. And they literally today made my kids pack up all of their things, put them in a box, and carry them out with them after finding out. So in the span of an hour, they went from everything's fine to I have everything in a box that I'm carrying out. And as a dad, as a professional, as a human being, that absolutely disgusted me. And when my kids came home, they were carrying those boxes. And when I saw those boxes, my heart just broke. And it's right before the holidays, and it is a very scary moment. And we have things we are planning and trying to do, and it is a really scary moment. But it is more so offensive to me as a dad to think that it's okay to treat kids like they were in a movie. Like they had a horrible boss, and their horrible boss said, you're fired. And just like told the kids, my kids are 7 and 9. That now you have to pack up all your stuff. Like, I've been down this road before, and my kids have been treated way better. And many of you were here when that happened too. But as a dad, and as not just a creator, I'm a way longer time professional in management. It was a very scary moment because I felt such an unreal mixture of hatred, anger, concern, fear, all like mixed together at once. And the thing that offended me the most was how they treated my kids. My wife and I are adults, and we can handle truths, and we can handle change, and we can handle situations. And we will do our best, as always. But don't fuck with my kids. The second you do that, that's directly messing with me. And what's scary is that I was almost there today for a presentation for my daughter. I was late to this morning's stream because I was watching a presentation my daughter was giving at school. The only reason I wasn't there today was because of trying to get transportation back. To Frank's comment, like, if I was there, that might have happened. Like, I'm so angry at those people and the lack of professionalism and concern for kids' well-being in that. It was just livid. So I abruptly left stream because I had found out that happened, and then learned the full depth of all of it sequentially afterwards. And that's really hard for me, especially this time of the year. So we now have here in the guest house, you know, new burdens and new challenges and new changes. And I don't know. But I do know, but what I do know is I'm going to be very flexible with all of you guys this upcoming month. Streams will probably not be consistent. And I needed this couple of minutes here to just kind of vent out some things, because it is a very scary moment right now in our house, and it is going to potentially change a lot for all of us, including me. So we're going to enjoy as much as we can for as long as we can and see what the future holds, because it's day zero right now on trying to figure out things. So I just needed to vent out some stuff. I don't need to go into certain details, obviously, and I just hope that you guys understand why I left the stream abruptly, which I never do, because I never want to disrespect you guys. Never want to give you guys that disrespect, because that's not fair to you. But life happens. And yeah, it's a very interesting moment right now. So appreciate your time in letting me have my little bit of therapy, because I needed to stream tonight. I needed you guys, because you guys have been here now 2.5 years with me on this crazy journey of just Disney. And I know many of you very well. I know many of you personally at this point, and I needed a moment to just kind of get some things off my chest, because it's one thing to talk to my family. It's one thing to talk to my wife. It's another thing to, have therapy. And very often working on what I do every day is therapy in many ways. And this is that moment for me. So thank you guys for kind of entertaining that for a moment or so. Laura, you know all the commands. I'll leave it at that, because this is fun. But I just needed to, I can feel myself getting tense, which means I'm going to throw my back out, and that's not good. Nobody wants a broken guest. Okay. Let's turn the music back up a little tad. A little tad. A little tad. A little tad. Okay. Okay. Let's talk Mirrorverse. Let's go back into it. Let's get back into the mindset. Let's get back into the energy. Let's get back into it. But I needed to get some of that off of my chest just to help me feel a little better because it's tough. So that was my therapy for the moment. All right. Switching to this. There we go. There we go. Wait, what? Wait, I'm very confused all of a sudden because I saw a pop-up from Frank, but I didn't see anything. What? Is it connected? Stream Elements is connected. I just saw that dono. Frank, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I really do. Thank you, man. Thank you for the dono. If I saw that right, I think it said 50. Thank you, man. That's weird. Why did Jose Carioca not pop up? He's on this screen. Where's Jose? Where's Jose? That's weird. I'll try it like this. And Owlier joining the VIP joining the VIP club. Joining the guest list. Thank you so much, Owlier. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know you've got your own. Thank you. Thank you as well. I don't know why none of my notifications are popping up, but that's. Can I get it to proc? Let me try it manually. Okay. Kind of. I mean, there you go. I got something to pop up there. It's not the full thing. I don't know what happened. It's not working. I don't know. Oh, I bet it's this. I think I know why. Diogo, hello. Bem-vindo do Brasil. Tudo bem? De onde? I'll try it again. I don't know what happened. Everything's breaking now, guys, including guests, so shit happens. Yeah, that's so weird. I'll try the test one more time. There we go. There's two. There's two. Surround sound. Ah. It just did it twice, and I don't know why. What the hell? I don't know what happened. We just broke it. Sheesh. Okay, but we figured out what part of it is. Don Natal. Elsa de Natal. Lori, this is true. You only get to break guest. All right. Apparently that was broken. I apologize that Frank, you didn't get your moment, your dance in that moment. But thank you, man. I appreciate that. And Owlier coming on in with the sub as well. Heading over to YouTube, YouTube membership, ! YT member to get a free roster review every month. Tier 3 and higher. How do I set this back up? How do I get this off? That's what she said. Birthday scene off. How do I turn birthday scene off? I gotta... Can I do it like this? Because it's broken, right? So let's find out. Let's see if this works. Okay, it did. Draker coming on in as well. Thank you. The three-headed bros. The G3. Happy they got Ariel to 4 stars. You got a 3-star Ariel from the Stardust Shop, bringing her over the top. Beautiful. Very nice. Fantastic, man. Okay. That's all. Just... I'm just catching back up with the messages in the chat as well, because I didn't see a bunch of them while I was talking. But thank you, guys. Thank you for all the support. Okay, I think we're good now. All right, let's talk about the event leagues for a second. Let's get back in this, right? Let's get back in this. The event leagues. So here's my thing, okay? I was looking at this the other day in particular, and I came to an interesting realization. And the easiest way I'm going to showcase it to you is here on the Excel site. So I was looking at the rewards on place, right? Like how big, how chaotic of a reward system it actually is. And looking to try to figure out with the rewards, where is it really worth it if you're doing a daily points goal? Where is it really actually worth your time and effort, right? Because obviously your maximum of getting 5,400 and the top 3 is way up here, like way up here. It's huge. And then it drops astronomically. And then you hit around that 500 area, all the way down at level 62 to 380 in particular. And I guess the way I kind of ended up looking at it is out of 500 people, you've got to be in the top like 10% every day. So then that got me thinking, okay, if I got to be in the top 10% every day, what is that competitive wise? Like, what is that going to cost me in time to actually potentially do that? So then I started looking at that. I started re-looking at it to say, once I go into that, is it worth my time and investment to go in there and do that? And then looking at the leagues, looking at the daily objectives, I kind of had the realization that I just don't have that time. Because I did an hour the other day of just autoing battles while I was doing other stuff, right? And as I was autoing the battles, I was being very efficient on which nodes specifically, you know, getting the most objectives achieved. And yeah, it just straight up was not like, I reached like about 1,000. The top score of that day was about 18 grand. Like, some people are just absolutely, they have to be on the game autoing probably at least 4 or 5 plus hours. No joke. With orb refreshes every single day. So then I looked at it the other way. Then I said, okay, you need at least 1 point to start climbing the daily ranks, right? If you get 1 point, that's going to end up guaranteeing you 20 extra points for the campaign league. Now, you can see in mine, like, I'm all the way down. I went hard the first couple of days, first day or two during the testing, and then I realized the time investment on that over a 36-day period just straight up did not make sense to me. Did not make sense to me in any potential way, shape, or form for what I want to do with the holidays here. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to compete in orb refreshes because I'm not going to be doing those. And I don't know, is it just me? Because I know both Default Dan and I have the same issue with this. Since this update, has anyone else seen an increase in your phone temperature? Like, the game is not super efficient on your phone resources anymore since Raid Map 3. Because since Raid Map 3, my phone, after like 3 or 4 battles, is lagging and dragging so much. It's insane. So it's just not worth, like, when I do dungeons, I do them now in small pieces to make sure of it. So I don't know if it's just us or if all of you are noticing this too, that there is a tremendous resource issue going on with the programming in the game. Like, when it comes, and I'm not talking about farming, I'm talking about like using your battery and your hardware and your motherboard and everything in your phone recently. It has been so aggressive that I can't play the game for very long at a time. Aulir, you noticed it. Lori, you've noticed it. Anubis, you've noticed more lag and game crashes the last 2 weeks. You've been playing Primordial. You've been playing for hours a day with no refreshes. Not worth it. Yeah, it's all going to come down to orbs. Same thing's been happening to you, Yellow Snowman. iPhone 13 is draining your battery. Very often you got to restart the app. It's just something is off on the actual game efficiency, operation, mechanics, hardware, software, whatever the frick it is. Something's off because we're all noticing it, and that's not good. It's not nearly as data intensive as DSA. I completely disagree with you, Galentine. Completely disagree with you because it's a different kind of data. DSA is reliant very much on connection, like going to the main source and sending that information back in small spurts. This one is doing, armor, increase, damage over time, healing, focus buffs, percentages. You've got like 9 different buffs on the battlefield, and then you've got like different auras moving around, like with Baymax and targeted position. Like, there's way more going on. Way more going on than DSA. So 100% disagree with you on that. Earlier, you thought it was just you at first? Yeah, no. Yeah, Little Jen, like my phone I should, ooh, that's what I should do. I have a thermometer. Oh, I should do a thermometer. Ooh, does anybody else have thermal, like a infrared, like gun style thermometer? Anybody else? Because I'd love to see how hot my phone is getting. That could be really good. Ooh. Talk about data. That could be fun. All right, anyhow, sorry. Crush. In the Beast event, your phone is crashed about every 5 battles. Yeah, in the Beast event especially, it is awful. None of you guys do? Dang. If anybody does, when your phone gets hot, take a scan of it and send me the photo. Oh, Lori, I plan on it. I 100% plan on it. Well, yeah, your data, right. Galentine, that's what I'm saying. Your data usage, your connection to internet, your broadcasting server is way going to be using more resources in that aspect. I'm talking about while the game is being played, imagine if you were playing the game in offline mode, if you could, right? You start a battle and you go offline. This game uses more resources on your phone than anything else. That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you that the internet connection is stronger with DSA because you have live feedback, live gameplay, raids, statistics, like that back and forth to the game server is one thing. You don't have that in battles the same way. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you can't tab off the game. No way. The game's something's off. But I'm glad it's not just me. I'm glad it's not just me. Because that's been annoying. I have crystals to toss. Oh, we got a couple of polished. Yay, let's toss in the polished and see what we got. We got more scrap. We got more and more and more scrap. Let's go to this. We're gonna claim. Claim. You know what? Ooh, you know what? It's been the reset. Let's throw another crystal. Because we are trying to see if Donald can do something interesting anyway. So let's go on in. Where is it? Alliance. Made a promise. Let's throw 2. Why? Because we can. Let's do it. Are we about to pull a duck? Let's do it. Come on, buddy. Yes, Galentine, 100%. Yeah, we were just saying different things. All right, we get 2 chances. Typically, Donald is about a 1 in 4 pull. Are we pulling Donald Duck? Yeah, it's the optimization with everything they've added in recently. Anubis says 2-star Goofy and a 3-star Donald. I'm going to say the inverse on that. That's my personal one. Like, I think I'm going to get a 2-star Donald and then maybe a little better in Goofy this time. Maybe. So here we go. Come on. Show me some good luck today, baby. Tap 1. Tap 2. Tap 3. 3-star. Goofy. 3-star Goofy. That's 1, right? And it's also an Astral 1 Goofy. All right. Take a Goofy. Take an Astral Goofy. Thank you, Goofy. Appreciate you, buddy. Let's go. Figure eights. No whammy. Stop. Here we go. Tap 1. Tap 2. Tap 3. Hey. All right. 2 3-stars. I'll take it. I will take it. Doesn't happen very often. So I will take it. So back to the conversation real quick on finishing this with the event leagues, right? Here's what I've decided to do personally. If I go on in and I treat this like a regular farmable resource event, right? Those roses, okay? here's how I kind of look at it. Hear me out, okay? The beast node here for 8 energy gives you 200 flowers. Pretty good. 200 flowers. And with those 200 flowers, it's costing you approximately 25 flowers per energy spent. Now, if you go anywhere else, including on the same one down on the hard level, that optimization starts to go down. You see 6 on 145, so now you're going to about just under 24, and that continues down as well, right? Nothing too crazy, but obviously Beast is your best bet. On having 5 attempts, I do this last every day. I use all my energy for everything else I need to use it on. And then whatever else I have left, I have just been doing auto. I'm not going to lie. I am not competing in the daily leagues. My time and effort and resources, especially with how it is ruining my phone, it's just not worth it. iPhone, it's just not worth it for me. My time and efforts have to go into other things. And in concept, this is great. But the super annoying ability to refresh, if you do it, like, technically, you know, there are going to be people out there who do this maliciously. That's the best way I can word it. And that's sad. There are going to be people who do this maliciously. Can you determine what star it is by how the crystal moves? If it is fast 2 to 3, slow 4 to 5? There is a way, but I haven't perfected it. Yet. Excuse me. You got all the healers from the base pool to 4 stars. You got Jack Sparrow today. How do you unlock the bonus stage in Chapter 6? I'll be completely honest and say I don't remember. It is up to date, Porg. Yeah, went down that route. Like, a little under a week ago? Wait, what's today? Tuesday? Okay, it was last week, Monday. Well, I investigated, I should say. Let's go into the campaign. Chapter 6. Extra thing in Chapter 6. Wrong thing. How do you unlock the bonus stage in Chapter 6? There's a bonus stage in Chapter 6? I don't think so. Because it's just 30 of 30. I don't think Chapter 6 has a bonus stage. It's Chapter 5 has a bonus stage, and Chapter 7 has a bonus stage. You see, I haven't done it yet, but... I don't know. Does normal make a difference? Oh, look at that. There's now 31 there. You know what? I don't have an answer for you. (6-4). What, you have to beat 6-4? I mean, I'll tell you right now. I mean, we'll let's fly through this. The 31st is the star completion bug on the Mirrorverse Discord. It shows how to get rid of them. I have not seen on the Discord how it shows how to get rid of them. Remember when there were things here? I am Owler. This is 6-4. I think it is that race. Did I click 6-4? Am I in the wrong one? I think this was 6-4. There. Cool. Continue. There it is. Boom. There it is. For 50 orbs using Genie. With a 1v1. Alright, let's see what this Genie does. Go! Alright, for 50 orbs, I'll let Genie take a beating. I haven't done that. Not gonna lie, have not done that. Go, Genie, go. Go, Genie, go. Go, Genie, go. Good, Genie. Go. Here's a fist in the face. Now, I'll say too. Like, here, I'll show you here. Like, on my phone, comparatively, that it's not lag of the game. Ah, crap. I'm stuck. Like, it is straight up choppy on my phone as well. It is not just you all. That Genie's on fire. You have a mini? That is cute. I have a Genie that can evade. Ow. Just not that. Go, Genie, go. Go, Genie, go. Go, Genie, go. Go, 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 Genie, go. Go, 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 go. Reminds me of my attempt to speed run the 1v1s last week. Yeah. That had not day after annoyances, but 2 day after annoyances. Yeah, Genie is going to be worth it. If you have gaming mode on your phone, it should show you the temperature. You can also force it to show in developer options. Let's see, is it hot yet? It's warm. It's not the hottest it's been ever. You know, it's right now it's warm. It's comfortable. You know. But not like there are some times where my phone is just like scary amount of fire. I love how Genie's kind of got the fawns going, you know. Hey! Like, I'm totally cool with that. Hey, look, we got 50 orbs. All right. So, yeah, there's a bunch of them to do. Good to know. All stars collected. Hooray! Okay, I'll have to go ahead and get all those resources. You know what that does, though, only because reasons, right? We're going to get another beast attempt. Okay. Y'all, I would love to see some fireworks right now. I would love to see some fireworks right now. I could use that energy, buddy. I could 100% use that energy right now. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to launch it. and pray to RNGesus. Let's go. Toss it on in. Tap 1. Tap 2. Okay. Slowly grinding him up. On the flip side, we've gone 3 for 3. We've gone 3 for 3. Claim. Go faster. Oh my god, so many things to climb. And a 1-star beast coming out of the mirror. Thank you. Huzzah. Yeah, I mean, I wish the 3 for 3 was like a slightly better beast, but it's better than nothing. I don't know. With Simba, wait, Simba, Mr. Incredible at 80, should you level Beast as well? I mean, you've got the top 2 right there. If you're going to use him as your tall blade wielder, then for the map 3, yes. What do you think about 24/7 autoing 1v1 to trickle up XP? It's pointless. There's no reason to trickle up your own personal XP. There's no reason to do that. It's literally stupid. Like, it's just a waste of energy. Like, not in-game energy, just like power. Do I have an alliance for a brand new account alliance? I mean, brand new alliances. The Supers has a minimum. I don't know what it is exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's like early mid, because they're doing upwards of tier 14 raids right now. So if you just unlocked alliances, I don't know if that would qualify. Yeah. Any word on the new game mode? Nothing. I haven't heard anything yet. And to be completely honest, like, my personal take on it, again, this is nothing from Kabam in any way, shape, or form. This is just my personal feeling. I don't think we're getting anything until, like, mid-January. Just because of how these games go. Like, I personally think we're not going to see the new game mode roll out until mid-January. Because right now, it's coasting until the holidays. And then holiday breaks. So that's what I personally think. Thank you for the YouTube VIP program link there. Yeah, if you're going into 1v1, right? And you just sat on the level 1, very bottom, play it for 0. Even if you wrote the script to hack the game and auto 1v1 over and over and over and over again for 1 XP at a time, still absolutely unnecessary and pointless. And then you get banned. Astro Crystal just give you a 5-star Maui. I hate you, Lori. I hate you. You're shocked it gave you more than 3? Yeah. Because you have that luck and I don't. I only get 3 stars out of the Astro Crystals. Only that happen if it happens to a lot of games you don't see anything. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my point. Owlier, I'm with you on that. 100%. Water. Wrong pipe. Fail. Something I would like to see from the G3 is you guys predict characters to come in the game next year. I don't know if we're gonna do another G3 stream this year, like prior to the end of 2023, end of 2022, before 2023 begins. Hey Faust, welcome on in, buddy. I don't know, but I feel like, I could put that video out there. Yeah, wellness check. Wellness check. Yeah, like I already said 2 of them, but like I know characters I would love to see come to the game. That could be reimagined for Mirrorverse. And I can see some crazy, crazy looking kits. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you gotta have Quasi, you gotta have Edna mode. That's just mandatory. I mean, Quasi and Edna mode are just absolutely mandatory in my opinion. If you don't have them, you're doing it wrong. Stretch. Oh. Yeah. I got you, Lori. Just scream at me, Lori. That's fine. I do have a 3-star Beast, and we've pulled Beast now 3 for 3, but it's been a 3-star, a 2-star, and a 2-star. So I've just... My luck with Beast Crystals has been good, but just not good. It's like good-ish. You want Miss Piggy for a fiery short fused? Oh man, that'd be great. I just hope you're live. If when they announce Hunchback of Notre Dame. Yeah, I mean, when they announced Hunchback of Notre Dame, for those who do not know, 2 years ago, when I had just started streaming Disney Sorcerer's Arena, I was live when they dropped the patch notes that announced Quasimodo, Frollo, and Esmeralda going to Disney Sorcerer's Arena. And needless to say, I lost my shit. Like, lost my shit. Stupid reaction. It's in the hype video that I can't play, that I don't play and can't play anymore while I'm streaming here on YouTube, which I need to redo. Still, that's still on the measure to-do list of crap, but we'll get there. Baby steps. Baby steps. We'll get there. Dash as a melee. I mean, I don't know if they're going to give us another incredible. Because you could literally just go through all of them. I think they're going to have to split off into other character duos soon. Like, 'cause think about it. Who's in the game now that doesn't have an associated pair? Right? So, I expect to see, for example, I think we end up seeing either Flynn Rider or Mother Gothel. To me, that kind of seems like a semi-no-brainer. Maybe we see Lily to pair with Frank. Maybe. Maybe. We could expand more in Big Hero 6. Anybody to pair with Anger, really. So, I mean, we could see Bing Bong. We could see several, actually. I could see Joy. I could see Bing Bong. I could see Sadness, even. I don't know if they bring Lilo in. I don't know if they bring Lilo in. Just because you'd be beating up on a kid, and sometimes that's a really young kid. And that's a little difficult. Shere Khan. I could see them bringing in Shere Khan. Peter Pan. I mean, Peter Pan also seems like an obvious one. Yeah, true. Moana. Yeah, for Maui. Skipped it. Namari for Raya. Naveen, maybe, for Tiana. It's a little bit of a push, let's be honest. Daisy. Daisy Duck. Nani would kick ass, man. Galentine, I mean, Nani would absolutely be destroying people. I don't know if they could bring in any of the dogs for Cruella, or if it's even worth bringing in Horace or Jasper for Cruella. That's just weird. Sisu would be beautiful animation if they could bring Sisu into the game, but I see Namari before Sisu potentially. I mean, I don't know. Do you do another fish in a giant driving submarine? Aurora, definitely. Maybe Nick Wilde. Mordu for Merida. Elizabeth Swan. Shang. Barley. Or the Manticore. I think the most logical one out of everybody right now that's most likely to come is probably going to end up being Peter Pan, though. Like, out of the team builds that they have and the love for that character and the fact that this round we got Kermit the Frog and Beast. Sorry, and we got Olaf and Beast. I could see them doubling up in March on another support character again, and I would expect it to be Peter Pan. Mark my words. Mark this day. You'd get Elizabeth Swan? Yeah. Many of us would. Just a giant killer crab under the sea, under the sea. You're dead. Kill the girl. Whoa, whoa. See, I think Peter Pan becomes a support crush. Because, like, at least for me, looking at the patterns, think of it like this. Belle is support, Gaston is ranged, Beast is a tank, right? Do it again. Olaf is support, Elsa is a ranged, Anna is a melee, right? They're doing different factions from the movie. So because of that, Tinkerbell is ranged, Captain Hook is melee. I don't see Peter Pan being a tank, and he's already green. So I'm leaning towards support. See, Aurora... Oops, when you said Aurora could wield a spinning wheel, for some reason, I just pictured Aurora just, like, yeet this giant, like, spinning wheel at somebody. Just launching people. Yes, Winks. Yeah, I went into the full detail. Yeah. I just think they're going to follow that pattern. If they continue to bring more characters from the same movie, they kind of have to follow... Not have to, but like I think they're more likely to follow that same pattern of bring another character from the movie, but another class of character, role of character, if they're going to be from the same movie. Because I don't see them bringing, like, Bing Bong to pair with Anger, but Bing Bong is also a melee. Like, I don't see that. That's my thought. Yeah, Rose, 100%. If they bring Kristoff, I could see that being a tank. But then you got to look at characters that are not in the roster as well. And then you're starting to look at outside movies from what's currently listed. And how deep into the Disney catalog do you need to go? Peter Pan might act as a support by by make it team fly. You dodge blank % of all attacks and move faster. I like that. He's got like increased evasion technique. That'd be cool. Powerline. I could see them bringing in Max, but I don't know if they bring in Powerline. I'd love Powerline. I think he'd be a badass looking character. But I don't know if there's enough support for Powerline in the game. But there's enough love for him, definitely. Definitely, definitely, definitely. End quote. Default Dan. We're in chat mode, so I feel like we should go full screen. Just like hang out and talk the game. Like give me the options, people, you know? I'm totally all about that life. Because we don't do enough conversation streams, just like hanging out and verbalizing all of the chaos. He'd give shock. I mean, he'd kind of have to. Just like literally got lightning flying out of his fingertips. Did the tier list already happen? Yes, the tier list broadcast did happen, but I will be also editing it down, and I will be going ahead and uploading it on YouTube. Ideally, I'll be doing all of that tomorrow after the morning stream, and hopefully I'll have it up and edited, which I hate that word. Who's the comedian that has that skit? Does anyone know the edited skit? That the word edited is the most annoying word in the English language because it's impossible to do and verbalize. Edited. I forget who the comedian is. Crap. But it is. It's a very difficult word. Jasmine can definitely happen. I could see Jasmine. And like I said, I'd like to have Jasmine come to the game as the first character that has a spawn that also like generates, like her special is spawn a Raja with 8,000, health and X amount of stats and percentage of stats of, base, etc. And its cooldown is only after it dies. It's a 20-second cooldown to respawn it or something crazy like that. Like that, I think would be really cool. Yeah, so who do you want to come to the game? Yeah, Hunchback is a must, and the mode is a must. Outside of those, I'd have to think about it, and then I can make a video on it. I'm down for that. Powerline just dances in the back and triggers a massive blast of shock. He's just like, don't mind me. Like, what's worse than Worcestershire? Yeah, well, I mean, I grew up in a family where Worcestershire was, and still is to this day, just pronounced as Worcestershire. Even though I know it's Worcestershire. And depending on where you're from, it's Worcestershire or Worcestershire, depending on where you're from in the UK side. Saying edited sounds like Porky Pig. Edited. Yeah, 100%. I'm with you on that. Summon characters, something you thought about early. It's actually something I'd like to see with Facilier, summoning shadows and voodoo minions. Yeah, I could see that. Elastigirl comes into the game. She's a melee. Winks, 100%. I like zero doubt in my mind. She comes to the game. She's going to be a melee. What I wish they would do is add melee and support role to the Alliance Crystal. It would help free-to-play to collect role Stardust. It would divide pulls even more, but giving players a chance to collect role Stardust. I don't think that'd be a very efficient way to use your laurels, though, to get that Stardust in particular. Lori says as Worcestershire. Yeah. Frozone. Frozen would be fun. You're from the UK and you go Worcestershire. Worcestershire. Well, like I said, I grew up you know, I mean, I grew up with a family that just made fun of the word. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it would be Worcestershire, you know, just because you couldn't say it properly. Dash is the fastest melee. I don't think speed has too much to do with it. But, I mean, in theory, sure. Elastigirl potentially being a ranged character with a long-distance punch across the map. Ooh, I like... You know what? I like that better, Galentine. I like that idea better. I like that idea better versus a melee. Definitely. Thank you, Anubis. Thank you for your support, man. I appreciate that. Very much so. Elastigirl would be melee and still punch across like a ranged, kind of like Woody can. Like, if you took Elastigirl and you hybrided the ranged ability, like the ranged special of somebody like Buzz Lightyear, for example, who will do a straight line all across the entire battle, that would be a cool melee. That would be a cool melee, but for the same reasons, I kind of see what Galentine's getting with Elastigirl being ranged, though, for that same reason. She's just like, bam, 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 and just kind of rubber banding back and forth that arm over and over and over again. The worst you ever heard it butchered was wash your sister's sauce. That, like, hurts. Like, I'm offended at that one. Wash your sister's sauce. I can't even say that. That one's harder to say than the actual damn word. So, no Dash, because no more Incredibles. But Edna is a must. Edna mode. Edna comes to the game, and she's a melee with a newspaper and just beats the ever-living shit out of everybody. Super fast. Backhand, forehand, doesn't matter. Takes you all down. You see Elastigirl as a support, kind of like Mr. Fantastic, but more like Kamala Khan. Yeah, as the leader in the family, I could see that. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely need more love when it comes to unique ranged characters. But I will say a good half of them are actually very useful now. Because, I mean, Rift Raids completely changed the mindset of how you approach ranged characters. Because ranged characters used to be OP in beta. Then they nerfed them all aggressively and their playstyle. And then afterwards, for like 6 months, there was nothing to do with them except Zerg and maybe the occasional Gaston. And then all of a sudden raids came in and everyone was like, oh crap, I gotta care about ranged characters now. So, I am Batman. This is true. This is true. I am Batman. Stop staring. My eyes are up here. God. The eyebrow twitch, yeah. Oh, man. I mean, I will say this. The Worcestershire sauce is kind of the key, the hidden key to all really good beef. Like, you can take any cut of meat, cook it nearly any way. And when I say meat, I'm talking beef, right? Like, any cut of beef, add Worcestershire sauce, and that will be good, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Every time. Every time. It is a staple for beef preparation. Staple. And the best part about it with Worcestershire sauce is that it doesn't need to be like Leon Perrin's top-end Worcestershire sauce to be good. You can use the store brand Worcestershire sauce, and that is still good. Every time. Every time. And that's what I use. You don't need good Worcestershire sauce at all. They don't. You need... It's one thing to have a good steak sauce, right? But it's another thing to have a good Worcestershire. It's just, you don't need to. You just need some kind of sauce. Should they make ranged characters OP again? They're already OP in their slots that they deserve to be used. They're already OP in that sense. Yeah, the Worcestershire sauce, yeah. Sure. Sauce, that one. Winks, they will never add Marvel to this game. Tell you, like, nearly beyond the point of confidently. No, there will be no horseshit sauce. There will be no horseshit sauce. No. No. However, I am a big fan of cooking beef with MSG. I'm a big fan of that. Highly recommended. Don't use salt, just use MSG. You need a fraction of it comparatively, and it's a completely different type of salting. So if I use MSG in anything, like, it'll more often be a marinade with something that already has, like, if I've used a marinade that has something that already has some salt in it, I'll accentuate it with a little tiny bit of MSG instead. And then it's good. Lewis, welcome to the channel, man. I mean, we always end up talking food at some point. And we'll mix it in with all the Disney conversation at the same time. Add more Zootopia characters. Watch my heart sing with the Judy Hopps themed team. Oh, oh. We can get the weasel. You made bulgogi style meatballs as a part of your dinner tonight. Nice, very nice. Tonight's dinner for me was chicken thighs, which I've never made for my family. Now, I love chicken thighs, okay? Love chicken thighs, but it's also been a very hot minute for me because my kids typically don't eat dark meat, but we were like, screw it, let's give it a shot. So I bought them on the bone, skin on, right? So I did full prep on them. I deboned them, I de-skinned them. I then sliced the skin into long strips and then threw that in a scorching hot pan. Get a quick initial cook on it and then reduced it down to nothing and let those things slowly render down into chicken skin crackling. So good. Crazy good, not gonna lie. And then once that was all done, you know, scoop out the actual crackling skin and now you're just left with just beautiful chicken fat. Now I take my pieces of chicken thigh that I've, you know, de-skinned, deboned, and everything, clean them up, toss them into the pot so they cook in their own fat. And yum. All I added was a tiny bit of salt and a tiny bit of black pepper. And I just let the chicken shine. And that was unreal good. For some reason, Owlier, I read that as like, I got a jar of dirt. I ate pasta with ham. Like, that's how I read that for some reason. You want the mayor from Nightmare Before Christmas? Oh, that'd be cool. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Bring in Carl and Doug. He's got his, like, a meta collar. Like, it looks like Doug, but then his collar is, like, over-technologied all the way around. That would be cool. Carl just ends up becoming like a ninja of his walker, just like launching it and just like beating the hell out of people with his walker. That'd be kind of funny. That'd be kind of funny. And I feel like he'd be a tank just to move a little bit slower. He doesn't dash as far. Star Wars, Star Wars, that's a whole nother IP. Star Wars is not covered under, when you use copyright Disney, Star Wars is not covered by it. Some Marvel is, but the main primary purchased and inherited characters are not covered by that copyright. You have to have the Star Wars copyright specifically. He just launches the tennis balls. Yes! Sally from Nightmare. Okay, so here's my concept for Sally. She's a melee character, battles up close on one target. Then when you activate her special, she detaches her arm. It keeps using its basics for 5 seconds on the same target that she was already targeting and automatically transports her to another target for her to continue using basics for those 5 seconds. After 5 seconds, her arm rejoins her, stitches back on, and she can continue. 15-second cooldown. No? All right, fine. Are we ever going to get a Santa? No. Sorry. She could poison. She could poison. If we get Santa, please let it be Tim Allen's Santa Claus. He enters the Mirrorverse by falling off of the stellar mirror. He's just like, plop. That'd be kind of cool. Sally was very good at poisoning people in the movie. This is true. This is true. This is true. She has potions, kind of like the Alchemist Tiana version. Yeah. Doug, skill. Squirrel. Doug loses focus as he lures his enemy towards him. He activates lore, reduces focus to 0, so he can't crit. That would be cool. If they possible, I could collab with their own Marvel game and make Marvel characters limited time exclusive in Mirrorverse. Limited time exclusive always ends up being an issue. If it can't come back a second time, people are going to riot. Yeah, and I like that Doug kit as well, Owlier. I like that one a lot. Daisy makes a lot of sense. I think Daisy does join us. I think Daisy does, like, potentially, that's what you need to round out the... Well, no, you need Pluto too. But I could see Daisy and Pluto coming eventually to the game. Just round out the Sen 6. Because you got 4 of them. It doesn't mean that all 4 are good. You know, 3 out of 4 are. And then there's Goofy. You know. I'm pretty cool with it. Santa is a mutant. He falls under Marvel. Yeah, see, I think they've already got the holiday theming with Elsa. I don't know if they even need to go down that route. Limited are made as a bait for deep sea. I can't even say that word. Leviathans. Blah, 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 blah. See a character from Avatar come over, given the new recent resurgence under the Disney copyright. Yeah, I mean, I know that one front hand. So for those who do not know, I used to work for Walt Disney World, and I was a part of the opening team for the world of Avatar. I was on their attractions ops and opened up Na'vi River Journey. And watching how they developed to prepare for 5-movie expansion while building just after 1 movie, and conceptually how they have also so many things already in place to easily update once World of Water or Way of Water or whatever the second movie is called, and then eventually, 3, 4, 5. It's very cool. Very cool. Some of the things that they were conceptualizing and preparing for already. Leviathans, yeah. Avatar, though, doesn't seem like it would match the game. I mean, I could definitely see a battle-focused Navi in the game, 100%. Yeah. Oh, Quab, I've got so many Disney park stories, between Magic Kingdom guest relations to Tower of Terror to Kilimanjaro safaris to minivan rides to God, where else was I was all over the place. Phantasmic. Parade Ops, I don't really count. It's the same thing. Cali River Rapids, that one was a lot of fun. So many tours with guest relations, like lots of fun stuff. Lots of fun stuff. Ow. Oh, as I sit up straight. Ow. Check something here. Okay, we're good. Alrighty, y'all. Listen. I'm gonna go. I'll be honest. I'm gonna go be with Mrs. Guest. Because, you know. And I'm gonna be back on early tomorrow morning. We're gonna be playing Marvel Snap tomorrow all day. So tomorrow morning we have a morning stream to prep for Cube Rush, and then I'm entering my first ever Marvel Snap competition with a bunch of other streamers tomorrow night, including our lovely friend Default Dan. So I'm gonna need your support, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous because they are very intimidating and much more experienced players than I am, and I need dumb luck. So I'm looking forward to having all of you there with me. So I'm gonna say good night and let you guys go just as much as you are gonna let me go, because that seems to be the pattern. I love you all. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. The tier list edited video ideally will be up tomorrow afternoon-ish, later-ish. Ideally. I got some stuff, obviously, in the afternoon we're going to take care of, so we'll find out. But, as always, your support here on this channel for both Disney Mirrorverse and Marvel Snap is always greatly appreciated. If you wish to join the YouTube membership program to support me and support what I do and continue to bring content to you every single day, it is cheaper to do it here on YouTube than it is on Twitch. Take a look at, there are 4 different levels of options. Two of them include roster reviews. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. As of course we get raided with Bunny Slaughter right at the very end. As we're heading out, I'm sorry, Bunny. Have a wonderful night, everybody. I will see you all a little later. Have a great night, y'all. And that one.